Hello, welcome back to How to Play the Game of College podcast. I'm super excited about my guest on tonight. As I mentioned in some previous interviews, what I'm doing is highlighting nonprofits and organizations here in the city of Memphis that really help our youth. And really, when we think about really helping youth to get to college, oftentimes we look at our, school district, K-12, or we look at our college partners. But this work does not happen just with those two. There's so many great organizations here in the city of Memphis. So, and today I want to highlight one of my favorite ones. I may be a little partial, but one of my favorite organizations. So today I want to welcome to the podcast, Mr. Cortney Richardson. Welcome, Cortney.
Well, hello. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. Of course, I feel like everyone in the city knows you, Cortney.
Wow.
But I'm sure.
Oh, wow.
But I'm sure there's that one person like, well, who is this guy? So in a nutshell, your elevator speech, I like to say, can you tell the audience who is Mr. Cortney Richardson?
Cortney Richardson, native of Memphis, Tennessee, graduate of the University of Memphis and Memphis Theological Seminary. I got to start putting that in there.
Yeah.
I love Memphis. I love the work that's happening in Memphis. I am a gospel singer as well. Motivational speaker and leader of Peer Power Foundation.
Yeah, you left one important fact. If you're from Memphis, you got to say your high school.
Oh, absolutely. And graduate of the only high school in Memphis, which is really East High School, the greatest high school in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay, we don't know about all that, but shout out to East.
Absolutely.
My son actually goes to East now, so a great school.
And that's right. You're making great decisions as a parent.
Yeah.
Great job.
I guess so. So you just mentioned Peer Power, right? And so the CEO, can you talk about, and I feel like you just have a really unique story with Peer Power, and I'm going to let you share that if you can.
Hey, awesome. So Peer Power is a tutoring and mentoring organization, and we're a youth development organization, and we use tutoring and mentoring as our tools to really empower and inspire young people to really take control of their academic future. And so we hire college students to be tutors and mentors, and we believe that college students, according to our model, they really are the best examples of success or picture of success for the work we do, because many of the college students themselves, they are not too far removed from the struggle or the game, as you say, playing the game of like how to get to college. And so college students are currently navigating that, and they serve as during the day tutors and mentors or success coaches, as we like to say, for high school students. And they get paid to do so. So it's much better than flipping burgers or throwing boxes. They really get a chance to be somewhere and work a job where they can give back, but also hone their own skills as they prepare for their next journey after college.
Right. Man, that's so awesome to hear. And I love how you're saying that, hey, these students get paid, but it's really impactful work. It's really hard work. I know I've had the privilege of working with Peer Power and just seeing the students in action, right? It's just not a job, but it's just something I feel like they're excited about, want to come and really want to help those high school students. I guess the question is, when we think about, Peer Power in high schools, how does that model work? Are you in every high school here in the city, or are you in more or certain specific high schools?
So we have a strategic partnership with Memphis Shelby County Schools. And what we do is we highlight those schools that are like high need schools. And it's public schools, let me say that. So even the best or the cream of the crop public schools can stand to have support. And so we are in schools strategically aligned with the school district to identify those schools who could really benefit from having other trained adults in the building. Right now, we're in 12 traditional high schools, and we also serve and support at University of Memphis middle and high schools. And so we work there, strategic partnership with the school district to identify where the supports are needed, and then we staff the needs accordingly.
That's great to hear. That's so great to hear.
So we have a strategic partnership with Memphis Shelby County Schools, and that school district helps us identify those schools that really have the need and who could really benefit from having the service that we provide. And so I think, let me put a pin in and say it right there. that any public school can benefit from our model. Even the cream of the crop public schools have needs that Peer Power can serve those needs. And so we're at schools from BTW or 38106, 38126, some of the poorest zip codes in the nation. We're serving some of those high schools. And then we're serving schools like East High School, let me say, which is where Peer Power was started 19 years ago. 19 years ago.
Wow. That's awesome, man. And like you said, the support is so needed here in our city. As we think about our school counselors, the average high school counselor, we think about a senior class, the caseload could be easily 300 students, right? Absolutely. And so it takes organizations like Peer Power that can get in these schools, right? And that during the day tutoring, mentorship, and support, and really to help our students to navigate to a post-secondary credential. That leads me to the next question, the value of college, Cortney. So a lot of times, when we're talking about, to youth, right? We live in this TikTok world where everything is instant, right? Everything is instant. Social media, they want it tomorrow or today. Yeah. And so college delays that time, right? And so when you're out working with youth or you have your staff working with youth, what are those conversations in those high schools to really help youth to say, hey, I want to get some type of post-secondary credential. It may not be a 4-year, but some type of credential.
Yeah, I think that what I know that I learned a phrase called delayed gratification. And I think one of the things that we must take into account when we ask that question about the value of college, we're talking about young people who now, particularly in Memphis, for the first time, they don't have 8 to 4 or 9 to 5. Like school is that, right? 7 to 15. Yeah. So they have this block of time, and many of them are coming from families where resources are scarce. So for them, there's the conversation about graduate and go get a job immediately because there is the need for immediate support. Well, I have to have the conversation with those young people and say, you can't just think about right now. You have to think about long term. And so, yes, there's a need now. But I let them know, and I share my story with them, right? I share my story where I had to engage in post-secondary opportunities, right? College for me, University of Memphis. I had to engage in that season of my life where I was not getting the amount of money that I could have gotten if I had gone immediately into the workplace. But engaging in that small period of time of commitment, right? It seems like a long time when you're in it. But that's a small period of time in the grand scheme of things that's going to set you up to have a career, not just a job. A job is just over broke. But career sets you up to be able to be on a trajectory where you can continue to ascend. And most jobs, current jobs, and this is what I tell them, most current jobs are not outfitted for your future. But going to college allows you to really prepare for your future. And I could get down into like going to work at Amazon, for instance, right? Even Amazon is having conversations about how they're going to change their jobs for the future. So true. They need you to work right now. But what they recognize is that you're not being upskilled for their future even. They don't care about your future, but I need you to care about your future is what I say to them. So that is why it is valuable to to attain some type of post-secondary credential.
Right. And in a book, as you just mentioned, Cortney, a lot of times, in a community or even in the school system, sometimes they only hear about, maybe a 4-year or now only a 2-year. But there's so many different things that we look at 2024. You have stackable credentials where you could come in, 6 weeks, get a credential, go work, off ramp, come back on board. And so there's so many different types of things that's out there to really assist students in really getting the credentials that they need.
And I think you bring up a great point about like stackable credentials at a particular period of time. Like they could graduate from high school and within 6 weeks, like it's no such thing as summer break when you're an adult.
Right.
It's just not.
So
So
true.
once you
Yeah.
graduate in May, don't think summer break. Go ahead and get
Right.
something immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
potentially a 6-week program, and you can go and work right then, right? Now,
Right.
I want
Right.
to introduce another aspect to this, is
Okay.
I also think stackable credentials can come into handy for students that decide to go to a 4-year college or
Yeah.
university.
Yeah.
Because in that summertime, those summer months, go ahead and get you a stackable credential that would allow you to work while you are in college
Exactly.
with
Yeah.
consideration to your reality, which is
Right.
many of the students that we serve in our city, they need to work. They need to
Mm-hmm.
make
Mm-hmm.
money, and it doesn't need to be just change. Like,
Right.
I'm a
Right.
church boy, so I grew up in church when the church mothers would hand you $1 every Sunday. It needs to be more than just pocket change. It needs to
Yeah.
be the
Yeah.
type of money that would allow these young people to separate from their environments
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
sustain a life on their own so that they
Man.
can focus on
So
their
true.
future instead of being distracted by the lack or scarcity that they're experiencing right then.
Right.
I know I
Right.
said a lot.
Oh
Sorry.
no, man, I'm taking notes myself, so I appreciate all that. And again, just to the parents and students and community folks that are listening, again, Cortney, you're dropping some really major gems on this interview. And so, even continuing with the post-secondary credential, again, I feel like it's just not getting a credential and you're gone, right?
Right.
Think back to your U of M days. You learned so many things about yourself,
Absolutely.
the leadership opportunities, the engagement, the soft skills, right?
Absolutely.
How to deal with day-to-day people, right?
Absolutely.
And so, think about that as well when we look at college. There's so many other things that you can learn. Cortney, if you don't mind, take us through a quick version of your journey, right? A lot of times people see Dr. Board, CEO Cortney Richardson, right? And they really don't know our story or our path to get to where we are now. Do you mind sharing that with our students today?
So do I start in circa the year I was born?
I really like the story, Cortney, about you being in Peer Power. Like, I think that's
absolutely
amazing.
So I actually started with Peer Power when I was in the 10th grade.
Yeah.
I remember being younger and wanting mail because my mama was getting mail. I wanted to open mail. So I can truly say that some of my first mail was my paycheck from working with Peer Power when I was in the 10th grade. And so I started as a high school tutor with Peer Power. And from there, I worked throughout my college experience. And we like to say that this is the best job that a college student can have because it allows for a customizable schedule. And so Peer Power gave me the opportunity to continue to work in our after school program and during the day tutoring. And I went from being a high school tutor to a college tutor to a program director with the company, and then the chief marketing and community engagement officer. And now I'm saying all of these titles, but this is a nonprofit organization. And I actually started at the beginning of Peer Power 19 years ago. So there was not a title for everything that we did. There just was not a title for those things. It helped to build the organization, and in 2022, I became the CEO of this amazing organization.
That is huge. And again, I like how you said, hey, we kind of refer to Sandra started from the bottom. Now I'm here, right?
Hey. I don't know whether to go to the corner and take a praise break or a buck jump after that praise. But whatever the case,
in Memphis, you can do a little bit of both.
I can do a little bit of,
yeah, man. But I think it's so important, for youth to hear again, in this, Instagram where we live in, that, hey, you just see the person in front of you, but knowing the journey, right? And that, hey, I had to open mail from the beginning. I didn't have an exact title, and being with the organization for 19 years, man, that's huge, and the great work that you're doing here in Memphis. And so thinking about, your impact here in Memphis, right, on the news day to day, it could be depressing, right? When we think about the stories that we hear in the news with our youth, as far as the crime, as far as, not going to college and the many different things that we hear. What is one piece of advice that you would give a student? We like to sometimes say life be lifing, and man,
Mm-hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
know life be lifing. So there's a lot of struggles, as you just mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
But that student who says, "Hey, I don't see a way out.
Mm-hmm.
College, I can't even think about college because I got to survive." What piece of advice would you give that student that's watching this interview today?
One of the things that your book does, even in the first chapter, there's this whole idea, and I live by this, which is start with the end in mind.
Mm,
I believe that we need to go, and I say visit the future
mm,
and then walk backwards from there.
yeah, yeah.
Because if you can go to the future and then walk backwards to the present, it'll show you the steps that you need to take, right?
So true. So true.
After you visit the future, start with the end in mind.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Keep your eye on what you saw in the future. Stay focused.
And so
Some
true.
some things, some information, some news clips, those things are just distractions.
Right,
And
right.
even your current reality is a distraction from your future.
Mm.
And I would really tell the young people to stay focused on the life you want instead of the life you have
Man, we could just drop the mic right there, Courtney. I
now.
mean, honestly, drop the mic.
Yeah.
This is actually, Courtney, the end of the interview. Yeah,
Wow.
the end of the
Wow.
interview. And so, what I want you to do, again, we have so many great organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Peer Power is one of many. And so,
Mm-hmm.
for folks who want to get involved, I know you do you do a race, every
Absolutely.
year you have different
Mm-hmm.
events in a community. Can you tell us about some of those and how the viewers can find you if they want to get
Absolutely.
involved?
Absolutely. So there are a few different audiences I want to talk to right now. I want
Yeah,
to talk
yeah.
to one, if you're donors out there and you support this work of
Hmm.
empowering our young people, please feel free to reach out to me. Go to our website. We're looking for other partners in this work, like Dr. Sean Boyd and other funders to help us expand the work that we do. The other group I want to talk to are parents. Hey, parents, even if you don't have students that go to our schools, then you can
Right.
visit our website and look at our leadership tab to see the schools that we're currently have programs in. But we also offer summer programs. We offer
Yeah.
fall break and spring break camps. And periodically, we will host ACT prep boot camps as
Yeah.
well for your students. There's still value in the ACT. Don't let people tell you that ACT is not
Right.
valuable.
Yeah.
You still need it to qualify for merit-based scholarships. So take the
Hmm.
ACT. And then for students, if you're watching this and you're navigating this, playing this game of college by yourself, we would love to come alongside of you. Look at our website, follow us on Instagram, which is Peer Power 901, Twitter, Peer Power 901. Follow us on all of those sites, and we'll be more than happy to partner with any of you.
Courtney, thank you so much. And we will post the actual LinkedIn, your
Absolutely.
Instagram, all your
Mhm.
website, all that good stuff under this interview so folks can get involved or donate, as you said
Absolutely.
earlier. And so,
Absolutely.
again, I just want to thank Pure Power and so many great organizations here in the city. We can't say we don't have great things going on because we do. And this is a version of that today. And so, again, thank you to my guests, the students, the parents. Again, comment under the video, like the video, share with other students, other parents. We want to get the great work that we're doing in our city around our youth out to as many people as we can. And as always, join me every Wednesday for a new interview. You're getting some really great gems during these interviews. So make sure you tap in. Again, see you next time, same place. Thank you. Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you for having me. Look forward to coming back again.